Good morning, everyone. Just thought I'd go live for a little bit. Well, some more controversy on police officers in Phoenix. They get a call of someone threatening someone with a gun. They show up to a location. The guy rolls up his car window and refuses to open up the car. And then he brandishes a gun and points towards the police officers in Phoenix. They unload on him. Now, city council member Garcia is on MSNBC like Regina Romero talking about their one-sided view about what happened with the police officers. And the video honestly shows by a supervisor an officer reaching in the car and pulling the gun out of the car. So this guy is not an angel, by no means. Once they release the body cam footage, they'll see that he pointed the gun at the officers. Bottom line, you roll up a window on a car and you refuse to open up the window and the cops are trying to talk to you and you decide to pull out a gun, you're only going to have one choice there. You're going out in a body bag. I mean, bottom line. I mean, and the stupid councilman over in Phoenix is talking about, oh, we have to see about defunding the police department. Well, let me explain something to you, to all the city councilmen, including our city councilmen. You want to defund police? Try it and see what happens. All right? Last night there was a horrific accident on Broadway and Tucson Boulevard. Horrific. Okay? It's still closed. Let me explain something to you. You get some asshole that's a psychiatrist or a psychologist to go out there and handle a traffic accident? I don't think so. You got a little 11-year-old girl kidnapped. You got to get a psychiatrist or psychologist to go handle that kidnapping case? Think about it. Instead of defunding, you need to start training officers in a different way. Like I said, you teach them in the academy, hit body mass. No more hitting body mass. Bottom line, make it mandatory that they have a laser sight on their guns, on their service weapons. That way they can pick and choose where they want to hit someone. It brings down the mortality rate of shooting someone. Second, make it mandatory that they take some kind of de-escalation training. Thirdly, teach them to go out there and be proactive. The area you patrol, get out your patrol car, talk to the people, stop people, talk to them, and introduce yourself to those people. Be proactive. Be proactive. Get up on the sofa and lay down. Get up there and lay down, Sam. Get up there and lay down. But I mean, it's just, it amazes me how they want to defund. Well, be honest with you, the funding that they need and the equipment they need for SWAT things is necessary. The funding they need for MDTs, meaning mobile display terminals. TPD has the most outdated shit in the world, where their mobile display equipment goes down 2-3 times a night. And they want to defund. Let's get it straight. What are you gonna do? Call Ghostbusters when something happens? You could call a psychiatrist, a psychologist. You could call a Black Lives Matter person and say, hey, look, buddy, go talk to this person because they're black and they got their ass beat. No, it ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work. You cannot defund police officers. What you need to do is change the way police officers police. Go the right way. Don't use because of Black Lives Matter and all this shit. Black Lives Matter is, I'm going to be honest with you, it's a bunch of shit. I'm being honest with you. it matters that black people are more than likely to get killed by a police officer. Yes, it does matter. But the movement is bullshit. Because they think they have a, how can I put it to you? A bully pulpit like Trump. You either listen to them or they don't want to listen to anyone else. I mean, prime example, they went through the wrong neighborhood in St. Louis. They got an AR and a 9mm pointed at them. Okay? First off, they should have never gone in that gate and gone into that neighborhood because the mayor was nowhere near there. She was a mile away from there. So, in other words, they screwed up. They got into a gated community of $1 million homes, and I can understand why these people were upset. But then you honestly think something's going to happen to them? These are white privileged people. White privileged. You think the St. Louis Police Department's going to press charges on them? No, these fuckers went into a gated community. Just like they went into the LA County District Attorney's house. Stepped up on her lawn and knocked on her door at 5 o'clock in the morning, and the husband came out with a gun, pointed at him, told him, get the fuck out of here. Black Lives Matter does shit that they think is, in their mind, good, but in their mind, they don't understand. You go knocking on someone's door at 5 o'clock in the morning, chances are you're going to get your ass shot. Bottom line. You don't do shit like that. You don't do shit like that. Just like you don't get on a freeway and walk down a freeway and close down a freeway. That's infringing on other people's First Amendment rights to free travel. You don't go down a street and block a street down. You don't go on a bridge and block a bridge. Set your ass in a park and do what you have to do at a park. Or sit on a sidewalk. But do not interfere with normal everyday life for people. So I'll tell you, 80% of the people in this country don't give a fuck about your protesting. They got more things to worry about, like coronavirus, not having money to pay their rent, and that's the bottom line. I mean, people are worried about their financial ability right now and about the coronavirus. And for you to go down and start protesting on a street, blocking down a street, or walking down a residential neighborhood is going to piss people off more than anything else. Like I said, Black Lives Matter you have the right to protest, but do not infringe on other people's liberties there. You want to have your First Amendment right, you got to realize you got to give something back in your First Amendment rights. You got to think about other people's feelings. You cannot block a police station from officers leaving the station. You cannot block a fire station. You cannot block a hospital entrance. Do not walk down the middle of the street and block a street because you get to piss people off. Do not get on a freeway. You get to piss people off. Second, do not get on a bridge and think you could walk on that bridge because most bridges have no pedestrian traffic. Freeways, no pedestrian traffic. Like I said, you want to defund police departments? Tell that to the people that died in that accident on Broadway and Tucson Boulevard last night, early this morning. You have a Black Lives Matter person and a psychiatrist or a psychologist go to the traffic scene and investigate the investigation? No, it won't happen. You know, as far as, like I said, they're talking about the police equipment. The police equipment that they have, the most militarized equipment they have is the SWAT team. With the armored vehicles and stuff like that. And there's a reason for that. The bomb squad is a reason for that. The everyday police officer has an MDT that's outdated, and that's it. In a SUV or a Crown Vic that's falling apart. But like I said, the Phoenix thing, you blatantly see a supervisor reach in the car and pick up the gun out of the car. So the guy evidently had a gun in the car. You know, just like people watch these videos on YouTube by Second Amendment rights, Cop Watch, and all this shit. Let me explain something to you. You do not have the right, when a police officer stops you for a ticket or for a violation of the traffic code, to say, I'm not going to give you my license, registration, insurance. I'm not under arrest. You got to understand something. Each state, all 50 states have a law that you have to give your license, registration, and insurance. Bottom line, comply. Give it to them. Don't be a hard-nosed asshole and try and, think you don't have to do that. Because you could be on a losing end of it. Like I said, they want to defund police officers. Who you could call? Ghostbusters? When a serious crime happens? Like I said, what they need to do is retrain officers to the point where you don't use... When you go through an academy, your shooting capabilities is one thing that they teach you. Hit body mass. Here, body mass. Hit body mass. Alright? Do away with that. Make it mandatory that each officer has to have a laser sight on his gun, and that will cut down on officer-involved shooting deaths. Because they can pick to shoot a shoulder, a leg, or whatever. The minute, 9 times out of 10, you point that laser at someone's head, one of three things is going to happen. They're going to piss in their pants, they're going to shit in their pants, or they're going to kneel down, cross their legs, and put their hands on their head. That's it. Second, teach the officers to be proactive. They all have assigned areas to patrol. Okay, fine. Get out and walk. I don't care if it's 110 degrees. Get out and walk the neighborhood where you parked and knock on doors and introduce yourself to people. Introduce yourself to people. I'm Officer so-and-so. I patrol this area. Here's my business card. If you need anything, give me a call. That's it. Be proactive. Let the people know who you are. Like I said, today we had a Phoenix councilman go on TV right away talking about condemning the police officers because the guy wouldn't roll down the window and he pointed a gun at him. Now the guy has no idea what happened, but I could put two and two together when a supervisor sticks his hand in the car and pulls out a gun. Evidently the guy had a gun. Okay? So that's that. End of discussion. Let the investigation work its way out. Do not go on MSNBC and plead your case against the police officers like he's doing. Same thing with Regina Romero. She went on MSNBC, Rachel Maddow, and talked shit about the 3 officers involved in the guy's death on the 21st of April. Bottom line, I'm going to say it again. That guy was going to die one way or another that night. He was so fucked up on drugs and his enlarged heart. There was 1 or 2 ways he could die. In that garage by himself or in his bedroom by himself. But unfortunately, TPD got the call. They're reading the reports. The call was he was running around the garage, running around the neighborhood, running around the house naked. And he evidently hit his abuelita. You don't hit your grandmother. Officers get there. In their mind, they're thinking this guy is mentally unstable. He's 5150. So they control him. They put him on the ground. They cover him up with the blankets because you can't leave someone sitting there naked. He kept spitting on him. They put the mesh on him. Okay, their biggest mistake was laying him on his stomach. They should have laid him on his side. They should have called paramedics right away. They didn't. But by all same means, they had no idea he had the drugs in his system. He had no idea he had a heart condition. But now these officers have been made to be scapegoats for the city of Tucson. and for the family. I feel for the family. I really do feel for the family that they lost a family member like that. But you gonna tell me they had no idea this guy was on drugs or he had a heart condition? Come on, let's get real. I know my kids. I know if they're on drugs. I know if they have a heart condition. I know my family members. These people are looking for their 10 minutes of fame, the family, and a paycheck from the city. Bottom line. Like I said, I feel for the family that he died. I mean, Jesus Christ, no one should ever die like that. But people looked at that video, and I swear to God, people on my Facebook page kept saying, "Oh, they set on him. They tasered him." No, they did not set on him. They did not taser him. They treated him with respect to the point where, like I said, one officer says, "If you don't stop, I'm going to light you up," meaning he was going to taser him. But he never tasered him. They never used excessive force on him. He created his own shithole by what he did. But Regina had no business going on TV because the chief of police had turned that over to Pima County attorneys for an investigation. So we have an open investigative process. Now, that jeopardized that process on those officers. They can't get a fair trial now, or fair investigation, because she went on there and talked shit about them. Same thing with the city councilman from Phoenix. He went on there and he talked shit about the police officers shooting the guy. That he was an upstanding citizen. If he was an upstanding citizen, why in the fuck did he have a gun in his car? And why would he not just roll down the window and talk to the police officers? Think about it. If you're that upstanding, you do what the officers ask you to do. I mean, this is a point, like I said, they want to defund police officers. Go ahead and do it. And see how bad things get. Another thing, Regina Romero calling out one of our citizens as a white supremacist. And the group that he belonged to put the blue line down Stone Avenue in front of the police headquarters. She's calling the group a white supremacist group. I'm in that group. I'm not a white supremacist. So she needs to back that up. Back it down. And if she doesn't, by Friday, the pressure's going to be up on her for to resign from her position as mayor. She used taxpayers' money, $3,500 of taxpayers' money, to put the sign, a bully pulpit, up on top of City Hall, Black Lives Matter. The city should not be in the business of putting stuff like that up on City Hall. The city can take their stand on things, but you do not do that. You do not use taxpayers' money to do that. She's been in office since January. She has not funded anything for the fire department and paramedics to get new equipment. She has not funded anything for the police officers to get new communications equipment. The streets still look like Baghdad in some places. She has done nothing. And to go on the news and talk about this and make these officers look like they're the bad guys when they weren't. They were made the scapegoats. Everyone have a good day. Remember social distancing. Wear your mask. If you can't wear a mask, stay home. Plain and simple. Stay the hell home. Just like the guy in Phoenix. He's bitching about, the gyms were singled out. He's bitching because he gave $100,000 to the COVID relief fund in Phoenix area. He gave money, donated PPPs to the certain organizations. He thinks because he gave that, he's a special treatment guy. He should be treated differently. And I posted on my Facebook page from Lincoln, Doug Ducey done a half-assed job. Bars are closed, but bars that serve food can be open. You can still go in there and drink and still have food, which is bullshit. Close all bars, all restaurants. No more go in, dine in, sitting. Eat outside, take out, delivery. Bottom line. Close the casinos. Close the malls. The retail stores. You can still have online shopping and curb pickup. We've had over 100,000 confirmed cases in Arizona in the last 2 weeks. I haven't looked at the death rate now because I haven't looked at it lately, but I'm sure it's somewhere past 2,000. Because Doug Ducey decided when Trump came to Tucson and went to that mass place in Phoenix, he whispered in Doug's ear, "Dougie, my polls are going down. Open up the state, please. Open up the state. I need your state." And Doug Ducey, like a dumb little lapdog, he opened up the state and look, everything went through the roof. Look at every state that's a Republican governor, everything's gone up through the roof because they opened up too early. Texas, Florida, Alabama, frickin' Georgia. Places like that. And Trump's still on his kick about having rallies. He doesn't realize that the rallies, putting these people next to each other with no mask on. I have a buddy that's a doctor at UCLA, and his exact words were, "Dude, give it 2 weeks. We're going to find out how many people are going to wind up positive, how many people are going to wind up sick and in the hospital in intensive care from Trump's, Mount Rushmore rally." Look at what happened in Tulsa, Oklahoma. One of his good backers, a black guy from Florida, forget what his name is, went there. Now he's in the hospital. He's in the hospital with coronavirus after the Tulsa thing. And the doctors now say it doesn't matter if you're inside or not. It will linger inside longer than it would linger outside. And Trump's using these rallies now as religious pulpits. He's hitting on religious things because he knows he cannot fill a 20,000 person arena. He's doing these things using religion. And now he's taking us back to the 1950s. That there is how would you put it? That the left is so bad, but he's not looking at the full picture of the systematic racism in this country. If you're Latino or black, chances are you getting stopped by a police officer is 80 to 90% than a white person. Chances of you getting shot by that person is all in how you handle yourself with that officer. If you're an asshole with them, you could get treated like an asshole. By all means, though, don't think because you want to defund police officers and because the black community wants it, that they're going to get... I saw something on PBS the other night, these teenagers and these 20-year-olds thinking, well, if they defund police department, we'll have more affordable housing for black people. No, that's not going to give you more affordable housing. No, you're not going to get free housing. Bottom line, it's not going to happen. Like I said, do your protest, but do them with respect to other people. People in this city and other cities are more worried about the coronavirus and where their next meal is coming from. Where their money's going to come from. That's the bottom line. They don't give a shit about the Black Lives Movement or anything else. They worry about what is going on in their lives. How they're going to take care of their families. How they're going to pay their rent. How they're going to buy food. Everyone have a good day. Remember, be aware of your surroundings. Use the mask. Wash your hands. Social distancing. And like I said, if you can't wear a mask, then don't go out. Stay the fuck home. Okay? Everyone have a good day. And by the way, this is my opinions. Joe Rocha. You got something to say? Say it to me. Let's have a conversation about it. If you think I'm wrong, let me know. And I'll tell you why I'm right. Okay? Everyone have a good day.